At number 86 on the Iconic 100 is the 1996 Sports Illustrated for Kids Tiger Woods card. And we brought on somebody who I know this card is near and dear to his heart, Cage from the Luca Tiger Bronze podcast. What do you think about this card coming in at number 86? How does that feel to you?
I think it's fair. I mean, I think 86 is fair. It's Luca's Tigers and Bronze. So Tiger holds a special place in my heart. I probably put it a little higher up in the list, but I can understand why it's there. It is a perforated card insert, came in a sheet of 9 in the Sports Illustrated for Kids magazine. So not exactly what you'd call rare, but it is clearly a card that folks know. I mean, Tiger was golfing in the 90s. And, unlike some of the other sports, there were no mass issued cards. Some people consider his rookie card the 2001 Upper Deck golf card, there's a ton of those out there.
Which is 5 years later. And to mention what you were just talking about, you had this at I just looked it up. You had this at number 59 on your list. So you're being honest, it was just a little bit, it was higher on your list, but I think, 86, I think it makes sense in this situation because he's got these other cards that he sort of shares with, but I kind of interrupted you. This one's so much earlier than those ones is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, he's got an autograph card. People, at the time Tiger came out, autographs were coming. I could see someone saying, his autograph card that I think is SB Authentic, yes. There's out of 900, and I could see people also. So to me, iconic, right? There's a reason why you have an iconic card. And oftentimes, if somebody has multiple cards, it takes away from, one of them being so iconic, right? So, but for Tiger, you're right. I mean, this was the card for a long time. I mean, there's like a Masters card in 1998, I think. I own this card. I own this 96, Sports Illustrated for Kid Tiger Woods. And in lower grade, it is not a difficult card to obtain, not at all. But in higher grades, it definitely is because of the interesting perforation on it. And what's funny is
what's yours graded?
BGS 10, not black.
Ooh,
gold.
A pristine?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
That's got to be super low.
Yes. Right? Would you like to see it? Go walk over to the vault.
I will. I'm in Salt Lake right now, but when I'm in Oregon, I'll have to check it out. So in a BGS 10, that's got to be super low pop, right?
Yeah, I think 12. I think it's one of 12. It's one of 12.
Very cool.
So obviously, I consider it an iconic card. I'm glad the rest of the grit eating world agreed with me, Mr. Tipton. But 86, I'll take it. I mean, I will give The Rock a little bit of credit for this because The Rock has that Bumblebee Tuna card from his Miami University, which is also a sheet card with the perforated cards, and people love that card. And they kind of, oh wow, it's perforated like the Tiger Woods. It kind of, that they now have almost gone hand in hand, the perforated cards. Lewis Hamilton has one as well. If you're an F1 person, one of his.
So I love your take on this. I think it's fantastic. I think if you're a kid and you're collecting in the 90s and you get this Tiger Woods card and then you go see him starting to I remember his first event. I remember he came out onto the scene and it was like, oh man, this guy's going to be a big deal. And of course you hear the name Tiger and you sort of go, Tiger. And then he starts winning and winning and winning. Oh yeah. And he took as far as iconic athletes of my childhood, it's like there's Jordan and then there's probably Tiger, right?
Oh yeah,
he's probably next, and this card predates his rookie card by 5 years. It's not a small amount of time, right? It's 5 years. It's a huge difference. So I love that. It's not hard to find in low grade. It's something so early and there's nothing else to really compete with early on. And so from that perspective, I sort of look at where it ends on the list. And part of me wishes it was higher because, I don't want to spoil anything, but we have other Tiger cards to come and they're obviously later cards. So I think a fantastic take. Do you think as we move forward from this point, do you think this card being as early as it is that something that people are going to focus on, or do you think that the other cards of Tigers have sort of cemented their place ahead of it?
Card folks are interesting, right? Because as much as I like this card versus the 2001 Upper Deck card, by comparison, I would rather have the Jordan 86 Fleer to the Jordan 84, 85 Star. And it's an interesting thing, right? So even though that those are close enough in time, this being 5 years makes it, I think, a little bit different. But, you know, I mean, also the distribution of those two cards, you name it. But I don't know the answer to that. I mean, for me, this is just a cool card. You know, it's cool coloring. It's just, you know, it's supposed to be a hobby for kids, even though it clearly is not that anymore. It's now a business for adults. But Sports Illustrated for kids, Tiger was a kid basically when this came out. I mean, 1996, we're talking about, you know, 26 years ago. I mean, so.
Well, for whatever it's worth, listening to you talk about it makes me want to go get a copy.
You want to go buy one?
I don't know if I'm going to find a BGS 10, but no, really appreciate your take on this, Cage. At number 86, that's the 1996 Sports Illustrated for Kids, Tiger Woods. Tomorrow we'll be back with card number 85. And until then, happy collecting.